Hello, welcome to the biologist. So today we are going to discuss about glycolysis. Okay, so today we're going to discuss about glycolysis. So what is glycolysis? Glycolysis is the breakdown of glucose. Okay, so in this what happens? Glucose is broken down into pyruvate by a number of steps. Pyruvate, pyruvate by a number of steps, and there is a release of energy. There is release of energy in the form of ATP. So this is an overview of glycolysis. So let's begin with the steps of glycolysis. Okay, so the first step, that is step number 1, glucose is acted upon by hexokinase in an irreversible reaction in which ATP gets converted into ADP, which results in the formation of glucose 6-phosphate. So when there is a kinase group is present, there is always some breaking down. So ATP is broken down into ADP, and this phosphate gets attached to the glucose at the 6th position. Okay, and it is an irreversible reaction. Irreversible reaction. Reaction. So this is the first step of glycolysis. Let's continue to the second step. So in the second step, glucose 6-phosphate gets converted into fructose 6-phosphate by the action of phosphofructoisomerase. This is an isomerase enzyme, so glucose is converted into an isomer, which is fructose, and this results in the molecule of fructose 6-phosphate. Okay, so let's continue to the third step. So what is the third step? Step number 3. In this step, fructose 6-phosphate gets converted into fructose 1,6 phosphate by the action of phosphofructokinase, and in this process also ATP gets converted to ADP, which results in the addition of another phosphate group in the fructose molecule, fructose 6-phosphate molecule, and resulting in the molecule fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. Okay, so in the next step, step number 4, fructose 1,6 bisphosphate gets converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate by the action of aldolase. But this dihydroxyacetone phosphate gets converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate by an enzyme called triose phosphate isomerase. So there will be two molecules of glycerol present, okay, in the step 5. Okay, so let's continue to the step 5. So in step 5, what happens? Two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate gets converted to two molecules of 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate by the action of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate dehydrogenase and NAD plus gets converted to NADH plus H plus. Okay, so let's continue to the next step, that is step number 6. Step 6. Two molecules of 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate gets converted to 3 phosphoglycerate by the action of 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate kinase and ADP gets converted to ATP. There are also two molecules of 3 phosphoglycerate is formed. So, and because of the action of kinase, ADP is getting converted to ATP, and there is a loss of phosphate from 1,3-BPG and it is getting added on here. Okay, 1,3-BPG kinase is doing what? It is breaking down 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, and there is a free molecule of phosphate, and this free molecule of phosphate gets added to the ADP and it gets converted into ATP. Okay, so let's continue to step 7. Step 7. So what is step 7? 3 phosphoglycerate gets converted into 2 phosphoglycerate. By the way, there is 2 molecules of ATP was formed. There are also 2 molecules, and by the action of the enzyme called phosphoglycerate mutase. Okay, so this is all about the 7th step, step number 7. Let's continue to step number 8. That is the second last step. So step number 8. In this step, 2 molecules molecules of 2-phosphoglycerate gets converted into 2 molecules of phosphoenol pyruvate by the action of enolase, where Mg2 plus is a cofactor. Okay, so where Mg2 plus is a cofactor, and it is very much necessary. So that is why trace elements. This is a trace element. This is why trace elements are also necessary. Let's continue to the next step. That is step number 9. PEP, that is phosphoenol pyruvate. 2 molecules gets converted into pyruvate by reaction of pyruvate kinase. 2 molecules of pyruvate are formed, and ATP gets converted into ATP. Here also 2 molecules is formed, 2 molecules of ATP are formed. So this is all about glycolysis, where glucose is getting converted into pyruvate by glycolysis to release energy. So this is all about glycolysis. Thank you.